Capricorn, this is going to be your no contact reading. Hope everybody is doing well. Let's jump right in. If you so happen to see this reading, trust there's a message here for you. We have the Spirit of Cups coming through and the Four of Wands. I feel like your mood may be switching when it comes to the Four of Wands, relationships, okay? The King of Rings is all about responsibility, being reliable. This is someone who is like the provider, more focusing on work, more of stability. And I feel like this is super, super important. I do see that there is a lack when it comes to equal give and take here. And I feel like there may be an energy to where you're not really trusting the stability, which makes you more like needing to feel more like be more stable within yourself, because there may be an energy around you that's very off and on, or maybe this was the situation to where they were just like up and down, okay, and you gave more than you did before. That Queen of Wands is having your confidence up. You're very generous with your energy and with your time, but I feel like right here with the Five of Wands, there is something where there was like a lot of frustration happening, okay? You may be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We do have fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, which I feel like this is your energy. All right, so let's see what's coming in, what's going on with you guys. It does feel like something does feel like one person is giving more than the other. That could be financially, emotionally, spiritually, as in time. But let's see. If you guys are interested in a personal reading with me, the link is in the description box below. Ooh, you have the Chariot. This person has the Ten of Wands. So you're moving forward. Okay. This person is feeling like a very heaviness. There's a lot of heaviness within this person. The challenge is trying to work together and have teamwork to build something solid, which makes sense because it feels like somebody's keeps going back and forth here with the Spirit of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups. And like one minute they're all in, the next minute they're iffy, which makes, but you're still like, it feels like you're still able to maintain the Four of Wands, which is your harmony, your peace, your abundance. Okay, this is about the future. There are a lot of delays within this connection because of the Three of Pentacles. There's a need to have more teamwork, more balance within the connection. This person feels very blocked. Ooh, somebody giving somebody the silent treatment. We have the Ten of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. Yeah, Seven of Swords doesn't always have to mean cheating, lies, all that stuff. Sometimes it just means that someone's avoiding. They're avoiding, you know, a lot of responsibilities. They're relying on somebody too much. Okay, I do see like the King of Cups energy. The king, okay, so it looks like there is a lot of love, a lot of, you know, compassion, strong water sign here. There is like somebody here that has a lot of emotions, and the Ace of Swords is like trying to get clarity to keep the heart open with this person, because it feels like whatever is happening, things cannot be avoided anymore. If things are going to, the only way that things are going to work is if someone stops suppressing their emotions, starts being a team player to build this Ten of Pentacles that is coming in the near future. But where it can lead is like someone needs to come clean. Someone needs to be honest with themselves and others about what they truly want. Here, okay, because they can't just avoid and then expect things to, like, abundance to come. That's not how it happens. Okay, it takes what you're doing to create a balanced, loving relationship. So I do see that you're doing your part. There's no question about that. Okay, let's get the Chariot. Where are you going? Why is the Chariot here? The Tower. Looks like the Tower, there's something about moving away from the Tower. There's like some type of unfinished business, something here where the Tower is coming in. There's unresolved issues. There's certain truths that's coming out here. The world is like, okay, the tower came down because there was unfinished business and truth needed to be revealed. Usually the tower comes in to break away from the illusion. So I do feel like you are at the chariot trying to move forward after a tower moment, okay? This person here feels like they're at a crossroads. Okay, they are seeing change. It's so crazy because it looks like they're looking at this tower with this person here. It's like them kind of looking at this tower, needing to get out of their comfort zone, needing to, you know, be more realistic in their end. The Wheel of Fortune is saying that the change is happening. The wheel is turning. Okay, but when the wheel is turning, that means there's no resistance. Something here is out of both of your control, because the tower and the Wheel of Fortune is telling me is that things are going to reveal itself either over and over again until teamwork has had, or until somebody stops avoiding, because there are still lessons to be learned. Okay, like you may be good here, but it looks like the other person, yeah, may not. So the Seven of Swords in the reverse is coming in. So Seven of Swords is one of the main challenges. It feels like this person is maybe someone who avoids, okay, who gets very defensive. Someone that, like, you know, when you collaborate with this person or try to build with this person, or you see a future with this person, it's like they feel that they take it like kind of the wrong way. It feels like Seven of Wands is saying they get defensive. They feel like they need to protect themselves. Wow, look at this. The Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Yeah, it feels like you are dealing with somebody who like goes in really fast and then makes impulsive, reckless decisions. First things feel clear, things are moving forward, and then all of a sudden they get this urge or this impulse. And then here we are with the defense and the Seven of Swords. So what is this Four of Pentacles? It feels like this person's really, really emotionally dependent on others. Yeah, it feels like when it comes to the Queen of Cups energy, they think like it's so hard for them to connect emotionally with you, to see something without taking offense. This person has a lot. They seem to like suppress their emotions a lot, Capricorn. Someone who has a hard time really expressing themselves. It feels like they have maybe a lot of insecurities. They kind of lose themselves in other people, or they become like, they like don't really want to, I don't know, I'm getting like a codependency energy. What's this High Priestess? This person's intentions, I'm telling you, you're dealing with a Knight of Cups. You're dealing with a person who has unrealistic expectations. So this is like, it could be a partner who's very like, who loves to love and loves the idea, but not really looking at the reality and the bigger picture of what that comes with, the responsibility it comes with to build something. You can't just love somebody and think like, okay, then everything is going to be fine. No, the Hermit is telling me is that this person is, I'm just getting a very avoidant person. I mean, that's all I can really tell you. It feels like when things get hard, or when things get like too real, their mood starts switching, and the Hermit, the withdrawals start happening, and you know, it starts feeling like they're ghosting. I feel like this person has a lot to say to you, but their fear of opening up, because they're like not wanting to really express what they feel, but also I feel you already know what this is. Like you guys already know like how this person operates. We have the King of Swords in the reverse. Yep, there's the Wheel of Fortune again. So in the near future, it feels like someone, you know, has this like very temperamental energy. They go from loving and caring and understanding, but then the King of Swords is here. When it comes, like, what makes their relationship unstable is how they think. Like, sometimes their ego gets the best of them. Sometimes it feels like things change with this person because they need to learn how to control this King of Swords. They can't, it feels like this person is coming off a little calculated when it comes to the long-term relationships. That's why it doesn't feel like an equal give and take. Well, things are going to be revealed. When it comes to fully committing, there may be a feeling of overwhelmed, but everything is going to be revealed to you regardless. The moon is saying that there's this like switching of going back and forth with somebody's emotions because they're avoiding their own truth. It has nothing to do about what you can provide or what you can give to this person. It's everything on what they can do for you. And I feel like this energy has some, like, they have a lot of love, they have a lot of care, but the only way that things are going to change is if they address their issues and be honest with everyone around them and themselves and be more realistic when it comes to love, when it comes to long term and what it takes to be in a relationship. I feel like a lot of you guys are overcoming overcoming a tower here with somebody, but at the same time, it's not about, I don't feel like it's not like, okay, they love you. Yes, I see that. They care for you. Yes, I see that. But they need to work on what they need to work on. Okay. And that is avoiding real issues, because if these don't, the tower is still going to stand. If they are still trying to build from the same way the tower fell, so the tower falls, it reveals to you, and then all of a sudden you're rebuilding with this person, and then they only go up to like the Three of Pentacles. See, there's the Ace of Pentacles, and there's the Two of Pentacles, and then there's a 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 10. Feels like you guys only get up to that 3, because that's where it gets hard for that person. Is the communication part is like, okay, the building part, the actual work part. It's no more like, it's like, okay, we planned it. Okay, now let's put the work in. And it's like, where is it? I do feel like the Hierophant saying, there is a chance that it can, things can change. But this King of Swords is kind of scary because this is like an energy that goes very cold. But from what I'm seeing is that there is some type of clarity where somebody is starting to feel like, I do love Capricorn. I do see everything that Capricorn does. Now it's time to be honest, because does this person want to fully commit? Because I don't know if there is something that, it looks like the confession needs to happen, because this is going to overwhelm this person. And it's because it's about being on the same page and actually doing the work to commit with one another, to be on the same page and the same path. But things need to be addressed first. Okay. So I don't really see the situation like completely like ending. I feel like there's a need for, like, this is gonna, let's kind of picture it like this. The universe is watching. Okay. The universe is watching to see if this person is good enough for you. And if you are in separation right now, the separation can be the part where you're seeing the avoidance, where you're seeing the King of Swords. But as time passes, this is where all the Seven of Swords that's been avoided starts coming up to this person, and they start realizing, and starts getting very overwhelming for them, where they become restless. Okay. And the Hierophant is here is because this is the spirit. This is like about being on the right path. Okay. So I feel it's just, I wish the King of Swords wasn't here in the near future. Because this person can come in a bit cold and unfair. Okay. but you're standing your ground, which is beautiful. All right, let's see. Let's get their confession here. Capricorn. The situation has become very difficult for me to manage mentally. 7 of Swords. This has nothing to do with you being too difficult. It's this situation, because they were not being clear, honest. They were being avoidant. They weren't expressing their emotions. They were like kind of keeping things down. And this could be you too, but they kept keeping things down, suppressing their emotions to keep things level, but that's not how they truly felt. It feels like this person, by them not expressing, you made you feel lonely, then kind of blindsided you in some way where they kind of just cut you out. And then here we are, and the outcome, with the Wheel of Fortune you saw, things can change. Things will, it's starting to change, because the 7 of Swords in the outcome, there's some confession coming in, which can lead things to the right path. But it has to take them to do that. You're already moving forward, though. I see you moving forward, regardless. Whoa. I know that I want you in my future. I'm working on the proper plans. My heart is opening and I'm ready. Within a few months. I keep being drawn back to you and I can't quite explain why. I have sexual fantasies about you. I check on you from afar. Can we start over? Yeah, this is that kind of relationship that I'm kind of seeing, is like wanting to start over, but not repeating the same cycle. I wish I could turn back the clock and do things over. It feels like somebody here is just starting to see like their own, like, because the 7 of Swords, remember, is them rethinking things. That's why it's at the at the end, they're rethinking things. They're being honest. It's like a relationship coming to some type of confession. And it feels like there is some type of transparency, because the 4 of Swords is coming in the reverse, means they're restless. They feel burnt out. They feel, they start growing emotionally distant. But they can't ignore what's needed to heal. And the Hierophant is to kind of really be true with their beliefs, and if they want to commit. Conserve your resources, material abundance. Purify your motives. And fatigue, depletion. Yearn for something better. Wish. Spiritual enlightenment. Okay. So this is what I have for you guys. Honestly, this is going to be completely out of your control, both of your control. I feel like the universe is watching this person. I feel you're going to get a lot of signs regarding this person. I feel like you are going to be very blessed, because your abundance is super important. Like, you're carrying something really beautiful here by your beautiful energy. It's more of like, who are you going to allow in your space, and who are you going to trust enough to actually build with you and not really take from you, or be avoidant, or not be able to build. That 3 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles is teamwork. That's the challenge. The 7 of Swords, is all about, in the reverse, that's the next thing. That's why it's happening, because somebody's avoiding to build. They're avoiding the work. They need to be honest with their intent. They need to be transparent. That's what needs to happen. Okay, so this is what I have for you guys. I do hope this message does help and bring some clarity. And if it did, please like, comment, and subscribe and follow. And I'll see you guys very soon. God bless.